Today on the program, my top 10 ways to avoid lonely writer syndrome. Coming up. Hey guys and gals, boys and girls, authors and author wannabes. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Your old buddy Tim back as usual to dispense a little wit, wisdom, and advice on the topic of how to become a better writer. Hey, I want to remind you that if you like what I do here on the program, and God forbid you don't, because geez, I give and I give and I give. Anyway, click that subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. And feel free to leave a comment or a question below. And if I use your question or comment on a program, I'll send you a free digital copy of one of my books. Today, I want to talk about something that really can be a pretty serious issue for a lot of writers. You know, I like to have a good time on this program. I like to cut up and that sort of thing. But I hear from a lot of writers, a lot of my coaching clients, that writing is a very lonely business. And it is by design. Typically, writers or authors work alone. We find some little hole in the wall where we can write. We don't have a whole lot of contact with the outside world. By design, writing is a very lonely business. Now, some folks, like myself, I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue, but I have friends who deal with things like depression, and they deal with rejection badly, and really being a writer is almost detrimental to their health. And again, I'm not making light of it because it is a very serious thing. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about how you can overcome that, how you can break out of the loneliness and the depression that sometimes comes with being a writer. So here you go, Tim's top 10 tips to avoid lonely writer syndrome. Now, the first tip, number one, is work in a neat and tidy, happy environment. I sound a little bit like one of those motivational guys, right? But it's true. You know, I'm fortunate enough to do this for a living. I've got a nice office. I've got a nice setup here with my computers. I've got windows. I watch the birds sing. I watch the hawks go after my dogs. So my writing environment is a very happy place. I like being here. It's comfortable. It's neat. It's tidy. So that to me is the very first thing you need to be concerned with is your work environment conducive to creativity and happiness. You know, a lot of people are not fortunate enough to work from home. You may have to go to a coffee shop. You may write after work. You know, John Grisham did a lot of his writing sitting on a park bench, I think, in Oxford, Mississippi. So I think that's the key. The environment that you write in must be conducive to good thoughts, positivity. So wherever you write, even if it's just a corner of your room, I did that for I can't tell you how long. I would sit with a laptop and a chair, whatever. Make it a neat, comfortable place, a happy place to work. Number two, and this is a big one for me, take breaks. Okay, I typically will write in 30-minute chunks, and then I'll get up, I'll refill my coffee cup, I'll let the dogs out, but I take breaks, I move around, I get out of this frickin' chair because I don't have a whole lot of meat on my bones and my butt gets hard. So get up, take breaks, move around. Don't feel like you've got to sit there in that chair for hours and hours on end, grueling and hacking out words. Get up. I do it every 30 minutes. I'm also a big, I'm kind of an exercise nut. So I'll take a break every day for a couple of hours and I'll go to the gym. I'll do some weights. I'll do the treadmill. I think you have to keep your body healthy no matter what you do to be truly happy. You know, I'm 57. I really don't take any medications. I've never had any health problems, but it's always been because I take good care of this temple that is my body. It's more of a rundown building, but all the plumbing works. So that's number two. Take breaks, move around, get out of your chair. Don't be stationary all the time. Number three, and this kind of goes with that, take a break to give your mind time to rest. You know, take a walk. Go, you know, again, get a cup of coffee, go to the gym. But you want to not only recharge your body, but you want to recharge your brain. This used to be a great saying of mine. My brain's killing me. My brain hurts. I've used it too much today. So don't overdo it. Another reason that writing is a lonely business, again, is because we don't really have contact with the outside world. You know, it's not like we work in an office with 50 people and we go out to lunch together and we go out to happy hour. Typically, writers work alone. So the nice thing now, thanks to the beauty of the internet, the power of the internet, as Boogie would say, it's very easy to interact with people. There are lots of writers groups. There are forums. Facebook has tons of groups that you can join. But you need to join groups and interact both virtually and, I think, in person. You know, leave the house. There has to be a writers group there locally. And if there's not, start one. Find some peers who are doing what you do and want to commiserate. And gosh, go have a cup of coffee with the group. Do that sort of thing. There is one warning there, though. Especially when it comes to social media, don't get so wrapped up in these groups that you're spending hours and hours every day. Gosh, I see these posts in these author groups. I mean, these people are writing a freaking novel in a Facebook post. How much time does that take? I know a guy, I swear to God, he'll spend an hour crafting a post. He crafts it in Word and then pastes it into Facebook. That sumbitch has too much time on his hands, and he's not being productive as a writer. The fifth way to avoid writer loneliness syndrome is to get out and travel. Go to conferences. Every month, there is a writer's conference somewhere, and a lot of them are geared to specific genres. There are romance writer conventions. There's sci-fi conventions. Get out of the house if you can afford it. Go to these things and meet people. You're building relationships with other writers who are probably as lonely and depressed as you are. And you know what? Misery loves company. So go to these conventions and find you some company. That's one of the things, there's so much stress in the world in general. And a lot of it comes to writers who are working on deadlines, whether they are real or self-imposed. It's so easy to get down and depressed. When you have other people to talk to, it kind of lifts you up. So get out there. Another way is to co-author with others. Now, I do this. I co-author with other authors, meaning that we work together on the same book. We talk 2 or 3 times a week. We're always on the chat. That makes you feel not so lonely if you've got a project going with someone else. So, look at other authors you respect in the genre or authors that you've met on the Facebook groups, and look at ways that you can work together, ways that you can co-author or joint venture. Get you out of your shell. Get you working with others. Number 7, one of the best ways to avoid author loneliness, and this one's on depression, is don't let the bad reviews get to you. I got to tell you, we're all going to get bad reviews. You can't please everybody. And boy, it used to chap my ass to no end when I'd get a bad review. I would lie awake at night and just think of ways to track that person down and gut them like a deer. Don't let the bad reviews get to you. All right? Everybody has an opinion. Some people are just assholes. And then again, maybe the book deserved that review. Look at that bad review and see if there is anything valid there. Maybe it's not someone just being a butthead. Maybe they've got a valid point. But don't let the bad reviews get to you. The same is true with rejection. If you are an author who is trying to go the traditional route and you're trying to land an agent to represent you, you're going to get a lot of rejection letters. Trust me. I have gotten enough rejection letters over the years to wallpaper my master bath. And that's a big goddamn bathroom. I got to tell you, folks. So don't let rejection letters or rejection in general get you down. Again, you look at some of the most successful authors on the planet, they were rejected hundreds of times before someone finally pick them up. Stephen King was rejected. John Grisham was rejected. It's all a part of this. So keep that in mind. It's really nothing personal at you. It's just one person's opinion of the work. Number 8, and this one is something that I do a lot, and that is learn to meditate. Now, I'm not talking about, getting naked and going to the woods and sitting around a campfire with a swami. Unless that's something you want to try. What I do, I'm talking about simply taking 5 or 10 minutes a day to sit quietly, to close your eyes, to focus on your breathing, and just to let your mind go and just relax. That's what meditation is about. It's about relaxing. And you don't have to read a book or attend a class. Meditating is really that simple. It's sitting quietly, closing your eyes, breathing, and clearing your mind. And just do it for 5 or 10 minutes. It really, it's hard to explain unless you do it. But I can meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, and man, I'm good to go again. It's like the Energizers are buddy. I'm back at going. My tail wags, whole thing. So learn how to meditate, at least for 5 or 10 minutes every day. Number 9, and we talked about this just now with the reviews, is don't dwell on the negative of being a writer. Don't dwell on the reviews. Don't dwell on the rejection. It's a positive thing. I've got a rule. If it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. I'm blessed to be in a position where that is a rule that I can live by, and it took me a long time to get there. But, if writing is not what you rely on for your living, it's not something you have to do. It's something that you're probably driven to do because of something inside you. But, if it stops being fun, stop doing it. Learn a new hobby. Build models. Model building is fun. I like model building. Number 10, and this is one that I don't really use, but I know a lot of writers that do. While you are writing, listen to upbeat music. Don't have the TV on. I got a big TV there, and that sumbitch is on all the time. And I turn it off when I've got to write because it's a distraction. But some people like to write with upbeat music. I know others that listen to classical music. I think a lot of it has to do with the kind of books that you are writing, because you can get inspiration from the music. It's like working out at the gym and you've got your gym mixtape going there. There are certain music is conducive to creativity. I firmly believe that. So that's one of the ways to, overcome the loneliness and the depression of being a writer is listen to upbeat music as you write. So there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. Believe me, I'm with you, brothers and sisters. It is a lonely business, and some of us are, better equipped to handle that than others. But if you are more of a social animal than I am, look at ways that, again, you can tap into the ethos, get on Facebook, join those groups, go to writers' conferences, get out of your hole once in a while. I have to do that. Again, I've got a very nice writing environment here, but some days I just got to get the hell away. So don't put those restrictions on yourself that you got to be chained to that desk writing and doing all those negative stuff. And again, if writing is bringing you down, quit writing. If you're getting depressed because nobody likes what you do, or nobody is leaving you positive reviews, rather than getting all bent about it, go do something else that'll make you happy. Macrame. Just the very sound of the word is kind of happy. So there you go. Write because you enjoy it. Don't let it get to you. There have been, again, on a serious note, a lot of tragic figures coming out of writing. You look at Poe, you look at John Kennedy Toole. Tragedy seems to go with great writers, but I don't think that has to be the case. Don't worry. Be happy. Listen to Bobby McFerrin as you write. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Again, if you're looking for someone to just chat with, comments below, leave me a question or comment. Be happy to chat with you on the topic of writing. Please don't ask me for any kind of psychoanalysis or mental health assistance, because, boy, that would be like... the tail wagging the dog. So anyway, hey, if you like what I do on the channel, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and above all, don't worry, be happy.